want to share with you systems frameworks that has helped me go from zero to making my first $1 million, my first $30 million. My goal is to get to $100 million in the next couple of years. It comes down to 3 acquisition systems that has worked for me over and over again, okay, across 1,500 plus sales funnels that we've built between my team, my partners, and helping every single type of business, industry, niche, product whatsoever. And funnels are essentially client acquisition systems. My name is Shaqir Hussyin. I'm the founder of funnels.com. I've generated over $30 million cash collection before I turned 30 years old. And so I'm going to just share with you the funnels that's working right now in my business so that you can copy and clone them. First and foremost stage when it comes to building your online business is understanding every single component of your business is a system that works on another system. And right now, if you are making X amount of money, okay, let's just say you're making $5,000 a month, okay? Most people that come to me for help, they're making anywhere from 5 to 30K per month. They're not in like complete beginner stage where they're like struggling to get by. They're making some money, but it's like up and down. And they identify as coaches, consultants, course creators, experts. They're really trying to promote themselves. And if they're here, what usually means is that they're missing a few systems that will get them to the next level. So first and foremost thing is understanding this concept, okay, which is all the money that you want is on the other side of basically getting more leads. That's it. All the money that you want. It doesn't matter if you want to make 50 grand a month, 500 grand a month, $1 million a month. And I can share this stuff with you because I've made $1 million a year. I've made $1 million a month. I've even made $1 million in a single day profit. And that was actually because Russell Brunson paid me $1.3 million for one of my services. And I sold him a domain name. So I have been on the extreme end. By the way, I've also been $40,000 dead, broke, buried in debt. So I know the different levels and what it takes to go from zero to $1 million a year, $1 million a month, even having $1 million day. So first thing, understanding traffic, okay? And how do we get traffic? We have to understand 2 things. What do we say and who do we say it to? Okay, what do we say to our ideal clients and prospects? And not just what do we say, but what do we say in a way where it repels the wrong people and attracts the right people? Okay, I can assure you right now, because I've built over 1,000 sales funnels in my lifetime, then one of the biggest issues, it's not the number one, but it's one of 3 big issues that people face is they don't know who their ideal client is. And they don't know what to say to attract them and then to convert them. Does that make sense? So one of the easiest ways we do that is by understanding what have you been paid for? What is your deepest passion already? And who already has a pain or problem that they are spending money to solve? If you can answer just a few of these questions, you will be ahead of 90% of people. Okay, so understanding that then gives us the guidelines on, so what are the creatives and what is the traffic systems that we need? So I'm going to walk you through a handful that I use, and then I'm going to go deep into how the funnels work. Now, because you guys are new, I'm new to you guys, I just need to know from a let's do startup and let's do scale up. Okay, so startup is if you are making less than $10,000 a month, and scale up is if you're making more than 10 grand a month. Okay, so first and foremost, you have to understand which traffic source that you're going to use. So for example, on Facebook ads, this is paid ads. If you make less than 20K a month, don't worry about paid ads. What you need to do is you need to start doing content, okay? This is content. I'm going to share with you a couple of frameworks that we use in our business, which is, this is my YouTube channel, okay? And this is my Instagram Reels, okay? So you guys can check out I actually just drop a link so that you guys can see how this works. So on YouTube, what happens is we publish videos that look like this. You see, this client. Okay, so I'm going to walk you guys through this. The biggest mistake I ever made in my entire life was not making YouTube videos consistently. Are you guys getting this? Even after everything that I've shared, because if I go over here on my YouTube channel, the oldest one I did was 15 years ago. This was, I'm pretty sure, nearly before Logan Paul, before all of these guys that you see today. Okay. And so, although I made some money online, let's just say I could have easily made $300 million or more. So, not doing YouTube consistently probably was the biggest mistake of my life. And then the second biggest mistake that I tell people is not writing enough books. Okay. So, I have a book right now called Back Millionaire. But if I made more videos, I could have transcribed those videos, which is what I'm doing right now, to go and launch more books. If you don't have a YouTube channel, number one, commit to making it today. Okay. Number two, start publishing in a consistent rhythm. Okay. What do I mean by this? 1 to 3 times a week. On my YouTube channel, I'm aiming to publish at least 3 long forms every single week. No other traffic channel, and I've spent over $10 million of my own money, by the way, in hiring, firing, paid ads, organic ads, building teams, firing teams, all of these things. And I can tell you right now, not a single traffic source converts better than YouTube. Okay. If I only had 2 things, I would choose YouTube and my email list. So I'm going to walk you guys through how this works. Okay. So step 1, start publishing content. And when you publish content, you're going to see, you'll be able to optimize your links. So for example, the background on your YouTube channel, this could be a link for you to get more traffic. Does that make sense? Okay. And if you see here, I'm sending people to funnels.com/challenge. Why? Because I want people to join my upcoming virtual event. It's a 3-day in-depth event that I do. Usually I charge for it, but right now I'm doing it for free because I want to help as many people as possible. And so now I'm dialing that in and I'm bringing people to funnels.com/challenge. That's one. Number 2, I want people that are already making, let's just say $10,000 plus per month. I want them to go to this link, which is funnels.com/DFY, and I want them to book a phone call. Why do I want to book a phone call? Guys, this is the high ticket sales. Does that make sense? If you want to make high ticket sales, this is the formula. Write this down. Please remember it for the rest of your life. You have to get good at 3 things. What are those 3 things? Number 1, getting appointments. You're in the business of putting bums on seats. You're in the business of getting people to come to you and book a phone call. Okay. Number 2, you have to have a product or service that's at least $3,000 to $5,000 or more. And the reason why you need to do that, ladies and gentlemen, and especially the people that have a really soft heart and they want to help people, I get it. In today's day and age, is competitive. How many of you agree it's competitive? Okay, you might be 30 years old. Okay, there's a 20-year-old flashing on Instagram with Lamborghinis and rented cars and watches and all of this stuff, and he's getting all the attention. You might be 50 years old, and guess what? There's someone else that's maybe also 50 years old, and they are on TikTok and they're, I don't know, dancing with their grandkids and they're going viral and they're taking their attention. How many of you guys know what I'm talking about? Okay. It's almost like every time I open up YouTube, I just see a next level of degeneracy. It's like one after another after another. I just saw like a 22-year-old kid, probably. I think he is 22, maybe. I don't know. I think he's from Dubai or Monaco or something. And he's showing how he's got millions of views. And then I looked at his YouTube channel and I was like, oh, he's saying that he spent $500,000 on a Monaco trip. So the whole scene of social media is just a big mind. I was going to put a expletive word there, but I stopped swearing because now I have a baby daughter and I'm trying not to use the F words or S words. Okay. So, but how many of you feel what I'm saying? It's like I have a gentleman who's teaching trading and he's got all the experience in the world. He's got all the knowledge. He's super intelligent. But some of the people that he's competing with, they're showing off cars and mansions and car, all this stuff. And so how do you stand out? The way you stand out is, 1, by having a stellar offer. So keep that in mind. Number two, understanding that your pricing will determine who you attract, who you repel. In my business, the cheapest thing I sell is $10,000. It's either $10,000 or I give away all my stuff for free, through my YouTube videos or through challenges and virtual summits. Why? Because I want to help as many people as I can. And the people that have got 10K, 20K, 50K, they'll come in and say, hey, what do you have? Let me give you money so I can get a fast track. Does that make sense? So why am I sharing that you need to have something that's minimum $3,000? Your competition is not just the social media kids. Your competition is also Facebook increasing their ad costs. Does that make sense? Okay. So all these big companies like Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, they're unfortunately not your friend. Okay. They are advertising platforms. Why do you think YouTube is free? Why do you think Facebook is free? Because they want you and they want your attention. So if you're trying to sell for $1,000, but you have to spend $500 to get a customer, now you're making only $500 profit. Try doing that for like 3 months. You're going to feel burnt out, annoyed, and want to quit. Does that make sense? I know this because the number one thing when my private clients come and work with me, the number one thing I do is empower them to raise their prices and then to install the right funnels so we can attract premium level people. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't think, oh yeah, the people don't have any money, or the USA and things are in recession because there's wars and all these things happening in the world. There is more money right now than ever before. You guys understand that, right? You guys understand that in America, they have, I was gonna say we have, but they have a printer, a money printer, and they just print more money. Okay. Right now, there's also 30 million, or I think it's 33 million business owners, registered companies in America. So if you ever think to yourself, oh, but the people don't have any money. No, your marketing just sucks. Does that make sense? So I'm going to give you a formula that I've been using. And I asked myself, okay, what can I compress that's really valuable for you guys? So I'm going to share with you. People come in, they watch my YouTube videos, and then we have a couple of call to action. So here I'm inviting people to a free summit. Why am I inviting people to a free summit? Because I want to help them get to 10, 20, 30K a month so that when I sell my services, they have the money to invest. Does that make sense? So this is what we call an Ascension Ladder. Give away something that's high value, okay, where people can go get results after going through your program. Okay. So in my case, this is basically my front end offer. Now, sometimes I'll charge, $47 to $297. Sometimes I'll do it for free. Second thing, if you go over here, so that's my YouTube channel. I take the clips from YouTube and I repurpose them and I put it on Instagram. Okay. So the next thing is if I go to my Instagram, let's just go and type in instagram.com/Shaqir. Now this, I worked out this last year on average made me at least $50,000 per month. Okay, just for my Instagram. This year, my goal is to average at least 100K to 150K per month on Instagram. Okay, if you're not following me on Instagram, you can follow me and you'll see exactly what I do. Okay, so first and foremost, have an optimized bio. Okay, 30 million before 30, that's my authority statement. DM me funnels to book a one-on-one call. So some people will come in, they watch my content, they just need to get on the phone to speak to my team. That's fine. I help you scale to 100K a month. And then I'll basically say, I've built 1,000 plus funnels. I've built an info business to $8 million per year. Now, this is also cool. The first top 3 pin posts. How many of you know who this guy is? Grant Cardone. Raise your hand. Okay. Now imagine if you turn around and you're like, oh, I hate that guy. He's a Scientologist. He's a scam, blah, blah, blah. You probably wouldn't be an ideal client for me. Does that make sense? And then if I clicked on this and, you see people like Tony Robbins and Russell Brunson, if you're like, oh my gosh, I don't like this Russell Brunson guy, he talks too fast, and I hate, if you have a negative connotation about all the stuff, this is Sam Evans, owner of school.com, okay, Rudy Mauer, Kiala, and so if you resonate with these people, then you're gonna know who they are. Does that make sense? Okay. Funny that I remember one time I met someone and I was so excited when this was like many years ago, maybe 7, 8, 10 years ago. And I was talking about Ty Lopez to them. And he starts telling me, oh, I don't like how Ty sounds. Okay. Till this day, that guy is broke. Till this day, that guy never became a client of mine. Okay. So the reason why I'm sharing this with you guys is because you got to put stuff, you got to put your best foot forward. You got to put stuff that will position you as a go-to expert, an authority, someone of credibility. Now, if you don't have fancy awards, you don't have pictures with gurus in your industry, then the easiest way to overcome this, okay, two things. Start publishing content. Two, make a list of the top 20 people in your industry and start doing podcasts with them. If you start doing podcasts with them, what will happen is this. You are going to be able to attract other people that follow them. Okay, for me, this was a huge game changer. As soon as I discovered, oh my gosh, you know what? If I got a picture with X guru or X person, and now I am literally just publishing that picture. So I have a picture with, say, Tony Robbins. And now I have a picture and I'm posting that picture with Tony Robbins. The other people that know and like Tony Robbins, they're going to also appeal to wanting to work with me. Does that make sense? Okay. So I'm giving you the quickest shortcuts. Second thing is, what if this is what I teach in my programs, my coaching programs, the authority amplifier. If you can't do podcasts with other experts because you don't have any following, start documenting and publishing your journey. Documentation beats conversions, okay? If you document your journey, your business, your insights, your lessons, your mistakes, all of the things in your life, what will happen is very quickly, you're going to start getting a following. And here's something that I done, okay? This is one of the fastest ways to hack. How many of you want to hack your growth? Type in hack. I'm going to give you one of the craziest hacks I ever did. It's going to, if after this, like if you guys don't go and do this, I don't know, you just hate money, okay? So I realized no one wants to get on my podcast because I don't have a podcast. Even if I've made so much money, I have all this credibility, no one cares. So here's what I did. Every day when I was going to the gym, I would start getting my phone out and I would start recording a 3-minute to 5-minute podcast on my phone. Sometimes the podcast would be 20 minutes. And then I would publish that podcast on iTunes. Now you do that every single day for 3 months, which is about 90 days. What happens on the 4th month? You now have 100 episodes of your podcast, yes or no? And now you turn around and you say, hey, Tatiana, I love your work. I would love to have you on my podcast. I've done 100 episodes. I'd love to have you as 101. The majority of people will never even ask you for your podcast. How many of you know who Jay Abraham is? Okay, Jay Abraham is a marketing guru who has been responsible for over like 20-something billion dollars in sales. Okay, this gentleman here, I'm just going to show you what he looks like. He's probably in his 70s now. Okay, they call him the $1 billion marketing guy. His stuff has been responsible for over 20 billion. I got to snag a podcast with him. And I'm not kidding. The whole time I was thinking, man, I wish he doesn't go to iTunes and pull up my podcast because they're a list of like 20-minute, 5-minute, maybe 1-minute clips. Boom. Now, what have I done? I just leveraged a guy with $20 billion in sales. Does that make sense? Okay. And then I went to all of his friends, all the top people in the industry. Hey, by the way, I'm interviewing Jay Abraham, Mr. $20 billion man. Can I interview you? What do you think my success rate went up to? Let me tell you, it went up to 100%. Today I can message anyone and just say, hey, I've interviewed Ty Lopez. I've interviewed XYZ. The first time I interviewed Ty, I went to one of his events and I just pulled up my camera like this. And I was like, hey, let's just do a video. That's the interview between me and Ty. Now I go around and I tell everyone, hey, by the way, I interviewed Russell Brunson, Dean Graziosi, Jay Abraham, Ty Lopez. Can I get 30 minutes of your time to interview you? Boom. The answer is 100% yes. So if you're not doing that, go and do that. Second hack, okay? How many of you guys enjoyed that hack? Real quick, because I gotta go and pray. And so I'm gonna wrap this up in a few minutes. So one, after you get the podcast done, you transcribe those podcasts and you turn it into a book. So now when I meet you, okay, I can say, hey, by the way, I'm the founder of funnels.com. That's my book, Funnels Millionaire. Are you guys getting this? Okay. Just today, I had the idea of in one of my brands with Wealth Academy, I want to teach people how to get to their first 10, 20K per month, which is basically making 250 grand their first year working with me. And I thought, okay, you know what? Most entrepreneurs, even if they call themselves entrepreneurs, they struggle, they're broke, they're overworked, they're stressed, they're burnt out. What if I created a new terminology? Wealthypreneur, wealthypreneurs. I went and bought WealthyPreneurs.com. I had an emergency meeting with my team and I said, hey, guys, we're going to create Wealthypreneurs. Okay, I want to help people make their first 250K. Most entrepreneurs are working so hard. They haven't cracked the code to client acquisition. They are experts in their field. How many of you feel like you're an expert? Just show your hands. How many of you feel, let's just say I have a mirror, not because of ego reasons, but when I'm making videos, okay, but let's just say you look in the mirror and you're like, I've got all the experience, the expertise, the knowledge, the know-how. I've made a ton of mistakes. I've been burned before. People have robbed me. People have hurt me. And I'm still standing. And my level is up here. My intelligence, my wisdom, I can get over things. Maybe you've handled people stealing from you, cheating from you, divorces, all of these things. So your experience is up here, but then your income is down there. And it's not your fault because a lot of people have been misled. They've been misled because they think, oh, if I just start a business, it's just going to work out. Build it and they will come. It doesn't work like that. You have to build it, then you have to create the systems that forces the right people to come to you. Does that make sense? Once I crack this, guys, okay, today I can speak in front of you. You know, I'm probably like 45 pounds lighter, you know, but when I started, okay, don't go and Google my pictures, Shaqir Hussyin pictures back in the day. But I had like long, greasy hair. I was morbidly obese. I was so fat and so unhealthy. If I went up the stairs, I would be out of breath, okay? But guess what? Once I cracked the code, and by the way, what I used to do and how I mastered lead generation is I used to go and talk to people face to face. I used to hand out business cards and hope that they will call me. And I used to pray that someone's going to come in and do business with me. Once I understood how to get people coming to me, how to set up funnels where the right people are attracted to me, the wrong people are rejected, the whole game changed. Okay. And that's the main lesson that I want you guys to keep in mind. So, real quick, optimize your Instagram profiles, then add in what's called ManyChat. So for example, this is if you guys struggle with sales and you want a script, you can go and comment the word script on this post here, and it will give you a link to download one of my sales scripts. Okay. Now, here's the part that I want you guys to see. I wrote this post. Look at how many potential leads and customers have come in. I wrote this post in 2022. Do you guys understand what I'm saying here? I did the work once and I'm getting paid forever. This is what I call creating digital assets. Before, people would just buy real estate, gold, silver, stocks, and all of these things. Today's the real asset, the wealthypreneurs that I'm working with, what they do is they go and set up digital assets. And one of the digital assets, there's 9 of them, but one of them is having an online presence. Another one is having digital assets that work for you. So stuff like PDF, VSLs, webinars. So real quick, let me just show you guys how this works. Okay. So this is my organic traffic, YouTube, LinkedIn. This is Instagram. We also have paid traffic, as you can see here. Now, big mistake people make with paid traffic, they don't have many campaigns. You want to have lots of creatives, okay? Like these creatives, you can get them done for like a couple of $1,000 a month. It's not that expensive. Hire someone for your video guy, hire someone for your design work. And literally you could spend like a few $1,000 a month and get like 5, 10, 20, $30,000 a month back. Digital marketing, internet marketing, especially the stuff that I teach, is the only industry I know in the world where someone could literally start off broke, like 10 grand on a credit card, and then in a month they could become 50 grand or 100 grand richer. I do not know a single other industry, and I've done everything from crypto, e-com, Dropify, Shopify, selling on eBay, selling in person. I've done it all. Nothing beats having a solid funnel with a solid offer and getting traffic. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, obviously, I can go on and on because there's a lot of stuff to cover, but in a nutshell, here's what you guys want to keep in mind. Okay. There are, let me just post this. Three funnels that I love and I work with my clients. Okay. I'm going to read these for you so that you guys don't have to like take notes and stuff. But essentially, these are the three core, okay? And you guys want to write this down. Number one is what's called a high ticket funnel, okay? Also known as a VSL funnel. VSL funnel, okay? So what is a VSL funnel? It's a video sales letter, okay? And we, like the clients that work with us, we give them like tools and templates and stuff. If you want to get access to this, just go through my funnel. You'll see the gist of it. Feel free to copy it. Guess what a lot of people do. Obviously, the devil is in the details, but feel free to go check this out, okay? So the first one is simple. It clarifies your promise, it qualifies the buyer, and it gets people to book a phone call, okay? 15 years ago, when I discovered this, I went from that guy who was annoying, lame, talking to everyone about my business, to now, I don't talk to anyone about my business in person, in IRL, okay? IRL means in real life. You guys know. In real life, I don't talk to anyone about my business. If they want to learn, they have to go to funnels.com. They have to watch my VSL. Then they have to book a call. How many of you would love a system like that? Okay. Let me tell you this. It eliminates 95% of the, excuse my language, of the bullshit. Okay. You will never have another person say, oh, tell me, what do you do? How does your system work? No, because the funnel does the job for you. Does that make sense? Okay, so if you don't have this, ladies and gentlemen, now would be a great time to get this implemented. Second thing is what we call the workshop or the webinar funnel. This is one-to-many selling, okay? One-to-many. So if you see here, what am I doing? I'm doing a one-to-many webinar, yes or no? Okay, now I do one-to-ones, but that's for like advanced people that are like 50K, 150K clients. But one-to-one, I tend not to do. What I do is a model that I've pioneered called one-to-many selling. Okay, write this down. One-to-many selling. When you are doing any selling, you want to ask yourself, is this one-to-many? Meaning, can I do this with 50 people with no more effort on my side? Are you guys getting this? Okay, no more effort on my side. So that means I do it once and that sucker has to work for me. Okay, I have a rule that I always I remind my wife to remind me, which is anytime I'm working way too hard, way too long, I'm stressed or whatever, just remind me, working hard alone doesn't make you rich. So how many of you find yourself working way too hard versus for the results that you have right now? And I'm telling you right now, it's not because you're silly, it's not because you're stupid, it's not none of those things. It's because you're literally missing one or two of the puzzles. Okay. I don't like doing puzzles. Actually, I don't think I've ever completed an entire puzzle in my life. But my wife and her parents, they're from a place called Wisconsin, in the middle of America, in the middle of nowhere. And once a year or twice a year, I go to Wisconsin. And when I'm there, they have this huge puzzle, like this massive puzzle. And, you know, her mom and her dad will sit there for hours doing this puzzle. Okay, just looking at it makes me kind of like icky. And then I'll see them like fighting over like, what's that one missing piece of the puzzle? And that's how I look at most entrepreneurs. They know what's required. They know, okay, I have a product, I have to get customers, so you have to use social media. But then if you know, why is it not working for you? Well, one of the main reasons is because you might be missing just one or two pieces of the puzzle. Okay. So first funnel I talked about to get to $10,000 to $25,000 a month is you're going to have a call funnel. Okay. A VSL funnel, which basically looks like this. So people come in. I'll just do a walkthrough. How many of you guys would like a walkthrough so I can just open up the different links and just give you guys a walkthrough? Okay. So if you guys want walkthroughs, type in walkthroughs. Jonathan says, what's your opinion on solo podcasts? Man, in the beginning, quantity beats quality. Okay. If you make less than $30,000 a month, just focus on quantity. Don't worry about trying to get things perfect. By the time you're trying to get something perfect, someone else is already crushing you. Okay. By the time you're trying to get your lighting right, get your makeup in, all of these things, someone else that's got way less experience than you is absolutely crushing you. And so this is a mantra I teach to all of my clients and students. Focus on progress, not perfectionism. Okay. And I actually have this mantra all over my walls and stuff. So focus on progress, not perfectionism. So I'll walk you through what this would look like. Okay. So this is the top part of my landing page. Now, why do I have this? I am calling out specifically who I want to target, who I want to repel, who I want to work with. So if I was in real estate, I'd say, hey, real estate agents, here's how to go from frustrated lack of deals to becoming an unstoppable agent. If I was in, weight loss, then I would say, I would identify, okay, who has the most amount of money in weight loss? Like, do I want to teach 25-year-olds how to get fit? You can, but like, do most 25-year-olds, are they going to go and spend $10,000 on a coaching offer? No. So what if I said, hey, men over 40? Or I said, businessmen over 40. If you want to burn body fat, you want to achieve XYZ goals without killing yourself in the gym, book a call. Do you see the messaging in there? So the more, like one of my friends right now, he works with men that are entrepreneurs, and basically he teaches how to lose weight, but he doesn't say how to lose weight. He says, execs, entrepreneurs, business owners, do you want more energy so you can produce more in your business? Because what do entrepreneurs really care about? They care about making money. Okay, that's really what it comes down to. They care about making an impact because they know if they make an impact, their income follows. Yes. And so what we want to do is we want to figure out what's our ideal client and just call them out. So over here, I'm saying, hey, coaches, consultants, experts who care about results. Copy the 4-step funnel system that turns total strangers into high-paying clients within 48 hours. So after now generating over thousands of high-ticket clients, I know there's 4 steps that if anyone dials them in, it's almost impossible not to have more clients. Does that make sense? Okay. So now immediately what happens is the person is now thinking, yeah, but I have to spend money on ads. Or do I have to have millions of followers? So I overcome that and I say straight away, without expensive paid ads, completely from scratch, using knowledge you already have. Does that make sense? Now, I also know in my industry, which is basically the marketing industry, which is the industry that you're in, your prospects are very jaded. How many of you can relate? Your prospects are tired. They don't want to buy from you. Yes or no? So one of the ways you overcome that is you slam social proof. Okay. So for example, this is my social proof just underneath my call to action, which is this blue button here. I say, hey, he is basically trusted by over 3,500 business owners. Now, if you've worked with 10, if you worked with 20, if you worked with 100 customers, you can put that in. If you haven't worked with anyone just yet, then, obviously don't put that in. In my industry as well, where I come from, helping coaches, consultants, experts, people want to make their first $1 million or they dream of making their first $10 million. So when they see these awards that represent $10 million each or $1 million each, it adds an extra line of credibility. Does that make sense? So if in your industry, if you have awards, if you have results, if you have a certification, leverage all of these things. Okay. So scroll down. Then I have basically a few bullet points. How to get in front of your ideal prospects, pre-sold, pre-qualified, and with money ready to buy now. How many of you would like leads like that? Okay, now I know business owners, the number one issue that they have is new cash flow. How do you get new cash flow in the business? You have to have a process to get new customers. What is that process called? Before, back in the day, it used to be called websites, right? Today, we call them marketing funnels. Does that make sense? So I know, okay, if I have this funnel, I'm going to attract the right prospect. And so I add in 3 to 5 bullet points. And then I include this. Now, by the way, this is one of those things that once you add it into your business, guys, it's a guaranteed conversion booster. Take it from me. I built over 1,000 sales funnels. So it don't matter what business you're in. Okay. If you make more than like $3 million a month, maybe I can't help you. But if you make less than that, I'm like 99% sure I can help you. Okay. This one thing has added in so many millions of dollars to my bottom line. It's insane. Okay. I would credit at least 8 figures, close to 8 figures in profits. Okay. And what is it? It's simple. It's a free funnels assessment. If you're teaching how fat people can lose weight, you can say free fat analysis assessment, something. Okay. If you're teaching people how to find the love of their life, you can say free love finding assessment. Are you guys getting this? Okay. Whatever niche you're in, okay, it doesn't matter. You have to ask, like, what's the other person wanting? And some people, they're not ready to buy now. You know what they want? They just want someone to hear all of the issues that they've gone through. And then based on that, they want a prescribed solution. So this is why in all of my funnels, in all of my businesses, we provide a free, we call it different things like a funnels audit or a ROI funnels assessment or a profit booster, depending on who I'm talking to. Okay. Identify which funnels you need. And then, I have a big testimonial from this guy called Jeremy Miner. How many of you know who Jeremy Miner is? Okay, if you're in sales, you know who this guy is. If you're not in sales, then you probably don't know. But he's a super famous dude on TikTok, on YouTube. He's like one of the world's top leading salespeople, especially in America. And, obviously I have a testimonial from him. And here's another hack that you guys want to use. You want to stack your testimonials. Okay, why? Because as more people are getting more and more jaded and skeptical, they want to see that you've worked with other people. Okay. So for me, I have a page that looks like this, funnels.com/reviews. And it's just got a list of people over and over again. Does that make sense? So let's just say your name was, Charlie. Charlie will, look at someone's story, click on the link and be like, oh, you know what? I resonate with Charlie. Or this dude, Marco Robinson from the UK, or this young guy and I have basically tons and tons of video testimonials, written testimonials. Why? Because this is key, guys. Okay. Because sometimes you might look at me and for whatever reason, don't worry, I'm not going to get hurt. Okay. I have a high level of self-esteem. You gotta develop high levels of self-esteem if you want to make it online. Okay. Just keep that in mind. If you are someone who's like, I don't want to be on camera, I suck when someone says something bad, you have to get over that as fast as humanly possible. How many of you guys are ready to get over that? Okay. You cannot have a week. And one of the best ways to realize this is nothing people say about you personally is about you. It's just a self-reflection of themselves. So many people hold themselves back from putting themselves out there because they're scared. Okay. I have been called every single name under the sun. Okay. When I'm telling you every single name, and I remember early on, I was like 21, 22 years old. You don't have many brown Asian Muslims with the name Shaqir Hussein. And I would make these videos and people would be like, oh, your name sounds like you're a terrorist. Like every single thing you guys can think of, I've been called. And early on, I realized these are people that I will never ever see or meet. Okay. And here's another thing. These are people that are not paying my bills. Are you guys getting this? And so if they're not paying my bills, why would I need to focus my energy on them? I don't need to. I want to focus my energy on the people that are going to give me money. And so this is a mindset shift. And sometimes people have like a subconscious belief. They basically just do some deep shadow work. That's the term. Okay. And so here I have different types of clients' testimonials. And you guys can see, why have I got this? This dude is from Dubai. This dude is from Italy. This guy is from America. This guy's got, I think, 4 or 5 kids. He's from America. Jeremy, he's from America. Scott, he's from Australia. Okay. Dr. Jennifer, she's from America. This guy was a church pastor from Texas. He's been a church pastor for like 20 years. This dude has been on TV. And then we have like this girl, this lady, she's not a girl, but this lady, she made 10 grand her first month working with me, and then she made $100,000 her first 6 months. She's an ex-corporate NASA. This is a grandma. She's 65 years old, and she was able to make money, right? And this kid is 16 now. He's, I think, 20 years old. But at 16 years old, he made 6 figures working with me. So if you see here, there's a wide variety of people that I have testimonials from. Does that make sense? You know, you can see so many different backgrounds. And again, the reason why I'm sharing this with you is because in your business, sometimes people, they might like your service. Now they want to work with, they want to see someone like them. Do you guys get that? Okay, I'm telling you, this is one of the biggest hacks of marketing and selling online. Okay, I just like, a lot of people don't understand this. Like, this guy, super passionate about his son. Okay, I'm sure most people are passionate about their kids. This dude, he talks about how his son, he joined my program, but then his son joined my program through him. And then they went on to make like 6 figures, and then I think 7 figures and beyond. So the reason why I have so many different backgrounds, I'm just look at it, it's a wide variety, is because people resonate with other people, and skepticism is one of those things that you want to overcome. So for example, this was my event, and this dude, he shares his story. This guy in the middle, he's one of my clients. He came to my event and he was mad skeptical. Okay. His wife on the left, she found my ad on Facebook, right? And she finds me on Facebook. She comes to my event. Her husband shows up at my event. He's mad skeptical, you know, thinking, this ain't gonna work. He's the one that ends up signing up. Okay. And they buy like one of my most expensive programs at the time. It was 120 G's. Okay. And she used to work in a bank for like 15, 20 years. I think within 12 or 18 months, they were making 100 grand a month. Isn't that cool, you guys? So the reason why I have her story on is, guess what? You might look at me and be like, I don't resonate. But then you listen to the story and it's a 5-minute testimonial. And now guess what happens? You resonate with them. So if you do not have a wall of testimonials, write this down. You need to build a wall of testimonials. The easiest 3 to 5 testimonials that you're ever going to get is people that you have worked with. People that you have worked with, people that you can give products and services away for free, or people that can give you character reference, okay? So if I go over here back, that's my call funnel, okay? So stage 1 is opt-in, and this is all linking into the reviews and whatnot. Then what happens is we go over here and I'll just show you guys how this looks like so that you guys can literally copy and model this, okay? So this is my homepage, funnels.com. But what happens is we have a opt-in page that goes like this, okay? funnels.com/class. Now we have different variations. So this one's very simple, very down to earth. And then I'm going to opt in, and then look what happens.
You can see
They
just from this
go straight into a VSL. Okay. This is what's called a VSL, guys. Write this down. VSL stands for video sales letter. Okay. The video sales letter is what you guys want to use to convert your cold prospects into high ticket sales. If people don't watch your videos, if people don't go through and click around and get to know you for at least 20-25 minutes, it's going to be very hard for you to sell your products and services. Are you guys getting this? Okay. So if you see here, I have one call to action. What's the call to action? Book a call. Does that make sense, you guys? Okay. And like once you book a call, then there's a whole different stage to it. But I'm just going to share with you guys an example of this. So, you can go and check this out yourself. Is this valuable stuff so far? James, give me a thumbs up if it's good stuff and I'll go through. Okay, so guys, step one, you need to have content which is on YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn. Big mistake people make, they try to do everywhere, they go everywhere. Just do 1 to 2 things. Step two, have a funnel that you can get booked calls from, okay? And then understand your numbers. If you want to make 20 grand a month, you need 4 sales at 5K each. Break it down. If you want to make 100 grand a month, you need to get 10 sales at $10,000 or 20 sales at $5,000 each. And here's the thing that's going to shock most of you. Just refuse to do business with people that can't afford your high ticket programs. Okay. In my business, if someone comes to us, they need to have at least 5K to 10K to work with us. If they come in and they say, yeah, but I can pay $300 a month. Okay, well, I'm sorry, but I can't help you. Does that make sense? Okay. And too many times what I've seen with entrepreneurs is they are trying to do business with anyone and everyone with a pulse. They're like, okay, I can take some money from them. And then what happens is you get stuck in client fulfillment and you end up hating your job, hating your business. And then you're like, I hate this job. Yes or no? 2 things I learned real quick. The quality of your staff, the quality of your team members, and the quality of your customers will dictate the quality of your life. Okay. I don't have any headache clients. If I have them, I get rid of them. Okay. When you're starting off, it's hard, right? Because you're like, I need the money. But all I want to say is just hold off. Identify your ideal client profile and then focus on the best version of them. Second funnel that I'm going to walk you guys through. Okay. This is what we call my 3-day summit funnel. Okay. So it's on this page, 3daysummit.com. Okay.
I hope get a domain for $1 million and I paid it. So I'm allowed to do whatever I want with Shaq.
So the reason why we have a 3-day summit is because this allows us to educate the prospects for 10 to 20 hours over a span of 3 days. If you don't have a 5K program yet, one of the first things you have to do is come up with a high ticket program. Okay. Unless you have thousands of followers, 10,000, 20,000 followers, try your absolute best to stay away from low ticket programs. Okay. Because it's just much harder to scale with low ticket than it is with high ticket. Okay. So now this is my 3-day summit. Okay. Now over here, we were running a test for $47. This is how it looks like. This is the VSL. This is what's above the fold. Scroll down. You have testimonials, $47. I have a picture of authority. Scroll down. And we called it the $1 Million Offers Challenge. Okay. Now, what I've done is, as a marketing, again, I'm always running marketing experiments. It's actually something I learned from Ty a long time ago. I decided, hey, you know what? Instead of this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run the challenge for free for the first 250 people. Okay. So this is what it looks like. funnels.com/challenge. Okay. But this is how this funnel works. And this is why you guys, if you're not doing virtual summits yet, this is one of the first things you need to add in after you've got your offer. Okay. So I'm going to walk you guys through it straight up. Experts, entrepreneurs, coaches, consultants, business owners who want to 4x to 10x your rates and sell one to many. This is the key term. Most people are undercharging. Because they're undercharging, they can't have the right funnel or they can't spend $5,000 on traffic. Does that make sense? Now, what happens if you increase your rates and if you start selling one too many, then you're able to go out and spend money on ads. How many of you have seen the Ty Lopez 67 ads, here in my garage? Okay, the famous ad that almost everyone in the world has seen it, especially in marketing. How was that ad? It was an ad that he paid for. You guys get that? Okay. So if you don't have the right products and services on the back end, it's going to be very hard for you to convert them into sales and into high ticket sales. So that's why we want to have a high ticket program. Now, I know majority of people that will come to me, they will say, hey, I need help. And I'll say, okay, cool. First thing first, we need to help you get a high ticket offer. So then again, I'm going through the same thing. What is it? When is it? Where? Virtual 3-day summit. When is it? What am I going to cover? I'm going to cover 3 days to build your first 6 or 7 figure offer, because I know most people don't have long attention span. They are going to just skim read this. Okay. Now the people that have money, AKA they have 10K, 50K, 100K to invest, they are much more logical buyers. Now imagine I just came in and I just posted this. The emotional people will be like, okay, cool. Yeah, I'm so excited. I'm going to get registered. Boom. Now, the people that are logical, they're going to say, hold on. If I'm going to spend time with you, I need to know a lot more details. And what does a lot more details mean? It means this: a comprehensive look at what you're going to experience during the 3-day event. Now I have the times. I have what am I going to cover? The 8-figure offer frameworks, the perfect selling system. I'm going to cover scaling with systems. Scroll down. And then I have all of these concepts that I'm basically aiming to cover. VIP bonus, okay? Bonus sessions. The cost of doing nothing versus joining the challenge, okay? If you're struggling to see results, if you don't know how to handle sales calls, if you have an underperforming sales team, if you're lost in the crowd, you feel invisible. Versus, on the other side, what am I doing here is I'm comparing the two different types, before the challenge and after the challenge. Are you guys getting this? Okay, so I'm future pacing people. If you join, here's what you're going to get. When you can future pace your prospects, they will trust you a lot more, because now they feel like you're on a journey with them and you're going to take them through the journey. Okay, this is also another thing that increased my conversions by a long shot. So those are the two things. Scroll down and it says register below to save your free ticket. Okay, and then it basically says, hey, if you register, then I'm going to give you access to a private WhatsApp group and some extra bonuses. And one of the things I've done is I've included this link to my school community. So if you see here, okay, my school community, it's called WealthyPreneurs timesfunds.com. So WealthyPreneurs is basically the movement I'm going to build around the offer. And then it says funnels.com. Okay, so I launched this like probably 1 or 2 weeks ago, and we've already got like 335 members. So think about what I'm doing here. I'm getting them to register on here. After they register, I'm taking them through the sales funnel. And then after they register, they get a link to come and join this group for free. Does that make sense? Now, this is where the interactions will take place. And this is where I'm going to basically hook people up with XYZ bonuses. Okay. And by the way, they just created this live feature right now. So I'm going to test it out. I'm out as well. Let me see. Let me see how this works. Okay. You got to experiment. Let's see if this works. All right. Maybe it works. All right. So I guess it's live streaming now. 0 members on the call. Okay. So we'll just leave that on. And okay, come back to this. This is the school group. This is the front end of the challenge funnel. So I've gone through 2 different offers with you guys right now. Okay. So one is the call funnel, which is this. Then I've gone through the challenge funnel. And one of the things inside of the challenge funnel is, and by the way, this is something that super changed the game for me. Okay. You guys want to write this down? You got to have 7 to 10 hours of valuable content for your prospects to see. So this is one of them. Must watch videos, complete these videos before your call. So I've got, 3, 4, 5 videos. This is actually, it's funny because this is an event that I did and I spoke at Ty Lopez's mastermind in London. So I took that video that I did in person, and now what I've done is I have plugged it in on my call funnel. And then I go through this page, which is what makes us different, better to work with, some more social proof. Guys, if you aren't leveraging social proof, you need to include social proof in everything that you do. Okay. Get into the habit of using social proof. Social proof increases conversions, reduces how much time and money you need to spend on ads. Okay. And if you can see here, I'm also sharing a link to my YouTube channel. Why? Because some people will come in and they're completely cold. Usually when they're cold to sold, that's what we want. Remember, cold is they're skeptical, they've tried so many different things, they've tried and failed and they're embarrassed and they don't want to try it anymore because they think they're going to fail again. So what happens is when you educate your prospects, okay, I call this EBM marketing. Write this down. Education-based marketing. One of the reasons why you're not making 50K, 100K a month is because you don't have education-based marketing. Why is it that Ty, myself, we have so many students and clients that will come to us and they can buy pretty much quickly? Okay, I literally will have people, they'll book a phone call and they'll spend $10,000 to 50K, even up to $100,000 plus from a single phone call. Why? Because I have so much videos that people trust. Does that make sense? So right now, if you're here and you're struggling to make 10, 20, 30K a month, okay, but these are things, by the way, in my challenge, I help people get to that 30K a month. But once you want to scale past that, even towards that, and then to really scale past that, is you have to have social proof. You have to have content that positions you as the go-to expert. Okay. And then the third funnel. So I covered the call funnel, get people to book a call. I covered the 3-day challenge funnel. And then the third one I'm going to cover right now is one of my favorite ones. And this is called the Playbook funnel. Okay. You guys want to write this down, especially with ChatGPT. Gosh, today you can come up with this in like real quick. So if I go over here and I just type in funnels.com/playbook. Okay. So this is the third funnel. And this one is one of my favorite ones. Okay. Because here's what happens. This is a funnel that basically goes like this. Number one, speak to who you want. So I want business owners, coaches, agency owners. Okay. People that want to start a business online, they want to get to their first 10K, 30K a month. So I say, new playbook reveals how to get to 10K to 100K per month. Now they come in, they opt in. Okay. After they opt in, here's what happens, guys. Taken to this page. Okay. So funnels.com/playbook. And what am I giving away here? I'm giving away a free report. Are you guys getting this? Why am I giving away a free report? Because the report is what builds trust with the prospects. Okay. If you don't have something to give away for free, you need to start giving away something for free. Ideally, it could be something along the lines of a free report, a free case study, a free video. And straight after the video, what do you guys see? It literally says, book a call. Okay. Because why? This is the main key ingredient into making high ticket sales. Okay. Next month, I'm projected, well, not next month, this month, I'm projected to do anywhere from 400K to 500K, maybe more, maybe less. Next month should be, God willing, at least $600,000 to $650,000. Okay. So the number one thing that I'm optimizing for is literally what I'm sharing with you here. Are you guys getting this? Is literally booking calls, getting more booked calls into my business. Okay, so that's my third funnel. I've given you guys the links. You guys can check it out. If you guys do want access to this entire mind map, just find me on Instagram and just comment the word funnels. I'll give it to you. It's free. There's nothing to buy. I hope you enjoyed this. Follow me on Instagram if you want to connect. And I'm available on YouTube and funnels.com.